Hi, my name is Shevy Smith. I'm a music producer and composer based in Los Angeles, coming to you from my studio in downtown Los Angeles, and this is my watch story. I've always been a maker of things. In my artwork, use saws and wood and a lot of tools and equipment. And in my career, I tend to use a lot of guitars and instruments, and I'm always doing things with my hands. So conventional jewelry just kind of gets in the way. I decided that I wanted to invest and get some sort of jewelry piece that I could wear every single day of my life. And I figured that should be a great watch. And I had a real criteria I wanted to meet. I wanted the watch definitely to have some age on it, to maybe come with a story. Much like vintage guitars do, you kind of feel like they arrive and they have songs to give you because they've already lived this life. And that's really how I felt about what I was looking for in a watch. I wanted it to feel like it had character and that maybe it had like lived on, some Mad Men, ad man, wrist in the 80s, and now it was arriving here and going to make art for its twilight years. I wanted it to feel honestly, like a Fender Telecaster. This is the guitar that I use on, most every recording I do ends up with some version of this on it. And I wanted to have a watch that kind of did that same thing in all areas of my life. I settled upon finding a Datejust, and I found a 1601 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and my mother actually happened to be passing through there. So I bought it from them sight unseen over the phone, and she went and picked it up and then delivered it to me when she landed in Los Angeles. So it was a really sweet way to get it in my hands and to have it arrive. And it's really felt like a family heirloom since that moment, and hopefully will remain one, for generations to come. In my life, it just really has become kind of this talisman that's just with me in all these moments. It's really cool because a lot of times I'm alone in the studio when I'm playing a certain part or I'm, creating a track, but there is this one piece that's with me during all of that. And I think it's kind of cool that maybe years from now, when I look back, I'll remember that when I was mixing some record or I was, playing keys on something, there was always this one thing I would look down at my wrist and see, and it was keeping me on time. And it was, this steady moving object that just was there during all of the great times and all of the creative times. And I really feel like it's become a part of my life for that reason. And I think that's one of the coolest things that watches can contribute. They're utilitarian, but they also kind of become this character in your life that's there to witness and bear witness to all of these creations that you're making. The latest record I've produced is probably the one I'm most excited that my watch heard, because it really means a lot to me. It's a spoken word record, and it's in collaboration with these amazing spoken word poets in downtown Los Angeles. And it really speaks to this time in the social justice movement. So it feels important and it feels timely. But one of the coolest aspects is that the way I produced it was sampling and resampling a lot of older instruments. So, a lot of Rhodes from jazz records in the 70s. And just these sounds were really recycled, but still sounded so classic and so warm and so perfect. And at different times I was looking down at my watch thinking oh wow, you were around when this original sound came to be. And now you're living this different life and this sample's living this different life. And it's just really cool to think how these pieces of art that are created by someone somewhere go on to live these amazing lives. And that's kind of what I hope happens with some of the stuff coming out of the studio, that it goes on to live these greater lives. So my watch is certainly representative of my creative process, of the steady beat I try to keep in my motivation and my output. And more than anything, it just feels solid. It just feels like another piece of equipment that helps me make the art that I was put here to make.